So we're about a week out from the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, and most people, myself included in the beginning, were treating this fight like it's a sideshow attraction or some kind of a joke. But both of these guys are taking it seriously, so I'm going to predict this fight in a serious manner. But here's the official rules for it. Knockouts are allowed. This is a sanctioned bout, which means it'll go on both of their professional records. The fight is going to be 8 2-minute rounds, no headgear allowed, and 14-ounce gloves, which is practice gloves for everybody who knows boxing or combat sports. But yeah, that's my only concern is this going to be a real professional fight, even though it's being billed as such, or is it going to be more of a glorified sparring session, much like the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones fight? But let's talk about the obvious. Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Jake Paul is 27. That is a 31-year age gap advantage for Jake Paul. And naturally, you would think that the longer the fight goes, the more it will favor Jake Paul, because Tyson is 58. But we got to remember that Mike Tyson is not the average 58-year-old man. This is Mike freaking Tyson we talking about here. Now, this is going to be a heavyweight bout. And originally, back in July when this fight was supposed to happen, Jake Paul was going to come into the fight around like maybe cruiserweight, like around 190, 195-ish, like, right, like a buck shy under 200 pounds. Tyson, I believe he's walking around at least 230, 235, something like that. So Tyson has bulked up. Well, he's already been a bulky guy, but it's just like he's putting on more muscle. Jake Paul, from what I'm hearing from his camp, has put on 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. So he'll probably come into this fight around maybe about 220-ish, 215, 220, or something around that area. And is that extra bulk going to help him, or is it going to slow him down? I think it's going to slow him down. Now, who has the power advantage in this fight? Who can pack and throw a harder shot? Now listen, Jake Paul's been training his ass off for this fight. He's been doing a lot of strength training and cardio and endurance training. I mean, I'm sure that he can pack a hell of a punch. But, come on. Mike Tyson has legendary one-punch knockout power. Now, as I said before, the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Jake Paul. And he will probably have to conserve his stamina and conserve his energy through later on in the fight, like around maybe rounds 5 or 6 or 7. He would have to have a slower paced bout instead of trying to get Mike Tyson out of there early. And the last thing that you want to do is train with Mike Tyson. And that goes into my next point, is this is the biggest concern, is we all know that Jake Paul has the potential to be a hard puncher, but can he take a punch? How will his chin hold up against a bomb from Mike Tyson if that lands clean? We have not seen Jake Paul get hit clean or flush yet, especially by a hard puncher. And going up against one of the most hardest punchers of all time, that remains to be seen, boys and girls. Now, Jake Paul, I believe, is 2 inches taller, 2 to 3 inches taller than Mike Tyson. I think Jake Paul is 6'1" and Mike Tyson is 5'11". And I think that Tyson is giving up maybe about a couple of inches in reach. I think Tyson has like maybe a 71-inch reach, while Paul has like a 74-inch reach, something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, Tyson is going to have to find a way to get around that jab that Jake has. Because I've seen Jake throw that jab in his training. Will it translate to the ring? We'll see about that. All I'm saying is that while Paul does have the reach advantage, Mike Tyson has found ways in the past to get around a taller opponent, an opponent with a very, very long jab. So we're going to see about that. Defense and technique. Who has the better defensive skills? Now, another concern is that Jake Paul, we haven't really seen his defensive skills on display that much. We've seen him work behind the jab and move side to side around the ring. But in this fight, that's not going to be enough. He's going to need to be able to get out of the way and dodge and slip punches. And he's going to need to be a smarter fighter too. If he gets hurt, if he's in trouble, he needs to be able to clinch up. But we're talking about Mike Tyson here, even though he is 58 years old. If there's one thing that Mike Tyson is good at, is knowing how to slip, dodge, and get out of the way of punches. His patented Dempsey roll can be dangerous, being able to slip and move out of punches, especially on the inside. We haven't seen Jake Paul be able to do good inside work too. Also, one thing we haven't seen is him do work on the body. He's mostly a headhunter. He might throw a jab or two or a hook or two to the body, but we haven't seen him do that. And I think that might be pivotal to Jake Paul's strategy. He might want to try to work Tyson's body. Good luck with that. And if there's one thing that Mike Tyson knows how to do, he knows how to throw a tremendous hook to the body to take the air out of your cells and he knows how to throw a tremendous right uppercut on the inside. If this fight goes on the inside, especially to the side of the ropes, Jake is in trouble. One thing that Jake needs to do is he needs to keep the fight in the center of the ring. This fight's dangerous for both guys. It's dangerous for Jake because there's so much about his boxing skills and his boxing pedigree that we don't know yet. True, he's a hell of an athlete, but he has not went against a strong, athletic professional boxer in their prime. At least not yet. But I'm not going to mess around and say Jake's not legit and like he's not training like a champion, because he is. And the biggest concern about Tyson is, will age play a factor? And yes, age will play a factor. But it's also a blessing and a curse, because Mike Tyson has forgotten more about boxing than Jake Paul has ever even learned. But overall, this fight is reminiscent of Rocky Balboa, to see if the old man has still got it. But Mike Tyson got that old man strength. And like I said, I ain't sleeping on Jake Paul at all, because he's a hell of an athlete. It's just that this is going to be his first true test. But, and I'm not saying that Jake Paul does not have the potential to win, because he does. With the right planning, with the right strategy, hell, I mean, I hate to say it, but he could have the potential and the ability to even hurt Mike Tyson. Maybe even, dare I say it, get him out of there. Because we haven't seen Mike Tyson take a huge punch in years. But if I was a smart betting man, go on ahead and give it to Mike Tyson by decision. If Jake is smart, he will fight a very, very safe and boring fight. He will move around the ring. He will tie up Mike when he gets on the inside, place his shots, pick his shots carefully, and try not to take too many risks. A lot of sticking and a lot of moving, because he does not want to get himself hurt. Yeah, I hate to say it, but if Jake Paul was to win, he's going to have to make it a very, very boring fight. But that's my prediction, guys. Mike Tyson by decision. I will say it'll be 5 rounds to 3. But anyway, what do you guys think? For those who don't think this fight is a sideshow attraction and guys who are taking it seriously, tell me who you think is going to win and how. Jake Paul by decision, Jake Paul by knockout, Tyson by decision, Tyson by knockout, or a draw. If it's a draw, a lot of people are going to be pissed. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Ready to chime in the comments. I'm out. Peace.